Oktoberfest season is here. I'm a little late, but it's the best season. I love this time of year when all the Oktoberfest come out. I'm not into making pumpkin beers. I don't like pumpkin. I was tricked into liking pumpkin bread. I'm still a little upset about it. I don't like pumpkin pie. I don't like pumpkin spice lattes. I'm not with all that, but I do love Oktoberfest, and so that's exactly what we brewed today. I'm really excited about how well this beer turned out, so let's get right into it. All right, so to kick off this recipe, we're going to be using some RO water. And for this 5.5 gallon batch, you are going to need about 8 gallons of water to do so. We're going to be mashing. The mash is going to require about 5 gallons. Sparge is going to require about almost 3. And then the boil volume will be about 6.8 gallons. All the water additions will be found below in the description. We're going to be using some calcium chloride, Epsom salt, and gypsum. Again, the link to the recipe will be in the description below, as well as all the water additions. For the grain bill, we are going to be using 5 pounds of Pilsen Malt, 5 pounds of Munich Malt, 1 pound of Munich Dark, and 8 ounces of Caramunich I. And this kit is actually, or this recipe can actually be found at northernbrewer.com. It is their Oktoberfest all grain kit, so you can go there and check it out. This isn't sponsored in any way. I do love Northern Brewer, but this isn't sponsored. So, but if you do want to try out this kit or just copy the recipe, go to your local homebrew store. That's fine too, but you can find this kit at northernbrewer.com. So right now, what we have going on right here, this is the dough in where we're pouring our grains into our mash or our mash water. So right now we're going to be mashing at 149 degrees for 60 minutes. But right now we're just going to be stirring it in and then mixing it up into the water. We don't want to create any dough balls. We don't want the grain to clump together. So it's really important to mix that really well, thoroughly, and then, of course, get rid of any dough balls. So it is important to pour some grain in, stir it a little bit, pour some more in, and then stir it. So for my system, because I'm using propane and that's not a full, electric system or anything, I'm unable to constantly recirculate my mash. So I do start my mash recirculation or boil off 5 minutes left in the mash. So at about 55 minutes into the mash, I'll usually open up my valve, turn on my pump, and let that recirculate until I'm ready to transfer it over to the boil kettle. So our first hop addition at 60 minutes is going to be 1 ounce of German Tradition. And this is actually the hop that is included in the kit, but I went ahead and used the German Tradition that I already had on hand, which happened to be from Yakima Valley Hops. And then for the second hop addition, we're going to be using some Hallertauer Mittelfrueh, and that'll be 1 ounce at 15 minutes left in the boil. And this is actually starting to be one of my favorite hops. All right, the boil is over, and so now it's time to chill our beer. And this part is crucial. You want to cool your beer down as fast as you can and then get it in the fermenter. You don't want to avoid any contact with anything that isn't sanitized. So from here, we'll cool our wort down to, I try to get to as close as 70 or so as possible. And then I'll put it in my kegerator to cool it the rest of the way to the pitching temp that I want. As you can see, we already have a nice, beautiful color. And then for the yeast, we're going to be pitching Wyeast 2633. And that is the Octoberfest lager blend. So we'll pitch that, and it will ferment at 55 degrees. And then we'll raise it for a diacetyl rest, and then we'll cold crash. All right, so it is finally time. I get to try this beer. The 2 days after I kegged it don't count, but now, a couple weeks later, I will say this beer is fantastic. I love it. Marvelous. Wouldn't change a thing. Really pleased with how well this beer turned out. Going into the notes, it's nice, rich in malt, good balance of clean hop bitterness, nice and toasty. The aroma, toasty notes, biscuit-like aroma. It smells bready. I love it. The foam, nice and creamy. It's just not the. I was hoping for a little better clarity, but it's fine. I didn't add any fining agents or anything to it. So I will say, with the weeks and the time, it's cleaned up really nice. Really happy with this beer. Again, wouldn't change a thing. So really glad with how well that turned out. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope you really enjoyed it. Leave a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you didn't like it, you can leave a thumbs down. That's fine too. It's all good, you know. But with that said, make sure to check out the links below. Follow me on social media. Hit up Yakima Valley Hops, October Design, Boozy Jerky, Whiskey Morning Coffee. They're the great. My code's down below. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. We'll see you again next time. Cheers.